If you're hitting fat shots, the majority of the problem is coming from your weight shift. Now, most people I see get to the right way too late in the backswing, and then in turn, they get back to their left way too late, or even worse, they're falling to their right in their backswing. So I actually made this little device, and heads up, I'm not trying to sell you anything. This isn't even for sale. I just went to Home Depot and made this to kind of illustrate this point, and I'll go over exactly what I'm talking about here, but basically it's just a foot wide, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch thick piece of oak, and then I put about 3/4 of an inch of a little piece in the middle that I screwed on there so that it's kind of like a teeter-totter and it'll go back and forth. I also put these foot pegs on there, which I'll get to here in a second, but I think this does a great job of illustrating the proper weight shift in the golf swing. Now, what I see most people do is if I start with the weight on the left, and this is what I want to be when I'm at impact. So if I'm gonna hit fat shots, a lot of times my weight would be on my right, and I'm grounding out behind this golf ball. Now, if I happen to miss the ground, I'm coming in so shallow, I might even be hitting up into the golf ball and I'll thin it. So not only are you gonna hit fat shots, but to add insult to injury, you're also gonna hit more thin shots if you do it that way. Where I see most people go wrong is if we start with our weight on the left side of this teeter-totter, what I see people do is they keep their weight left way too long, and then it's almost the end of the backswing or the start of the downswing before they get it to the right, and two things happen. Either you fall back and you never get it to left like we're talking about. That's the heavy and thin shots like we talked about there. Or you do get it to the right, and then it's so late in the downswing you really don't have time to get back to the left, and it feels like your arms and your body are completely out of sync, like your weight shift and your golf swing just aren't working at all. Well, here's the proper way to do that. I'm gonna start with my weight a little bit more on the left side just to show you when I'm shifting to the right. And what I'm actually gonna do is when I feel my weight start to shift is actually before the swing. You'll even notice if you pay attention to my left toe, it almost pops up off the ground a little bit before I make my backswing. So you'll see me as a trigger lift up my left toe, and that's when I'm getting my weight to start shifting to the right. So my weight is all the way to the right when I'm about here. So I almost feel like it goes to the right before I even start my swing, almost like I'm doing this and then starting my swing. So it goes right and then my backswing starts. Same thing in the downswing. I see players getting to the left way too late and completely out of sync. So I'm getting to the right early, and then I want to start shifting to the left about here. And that's what's going to allow me to hit crisp shots, get the divot in front of the golf ball. I'm going to have my weight shift to the left. As I'm starting my downswing, I should already have most of my weight on my left foot. And then I'm really pressing it into the ground. So in slow motion, it looks like this. A shift to the right, then I'm going to the left. My weight gets left, and then I swing down. So this teeter-totter back to the left actually begins about right here, and it ends with me feeling pressure in my left foot when I'm this early in my downswing. If I don't have my weight in my left foot at this point, when my left arm is parallel to the ground, everything else happens so fast that I can never catch up with it. So if you notice in these swings that I'm taking here, look how halfway in my backswing, or let's start with the beginning there. Very early in my backswing, I lift my left toe and my weight gets right. And then notice how about halfway in my backswing, my weight actually begins to stop shifting right and start shifting to the left. And once my left arm is parallel to the ground in the downswing, I already have a good amount of weight in the left. I feel a lot of pressure into my left foot. So long story short, here's the way you want to feel this. You want to feel like the teeter-totter goes to the right, then you start your backswing. When your left arm gets parallel, you want to feel like the teeter-totter goes to the left, and then you're going to feel like you have all the pressure on the left side of this left side of the teeter-totter when your left arm is parallel to the ground in the downswing. That's going to set you up to where you can hit down and through this golf ball, get that divot in front every single time. Now there's a couple other drills that you can do with this to get the rhythm of this with or without this board. I'm going to do one with it and one without it. Now I put these rails on the side here to help me from sliding my hips. What I don't want to do, if this was a flat board, as I shift to the right, my foot would be kind of angled down, and I see a lot of people when they do that slide their hip way out here like this. I don't want that to happen. I want to have this angled in, so I'm shifting my weight, but you see that this right leg is staying angled in. I'm never doing this motion. Same thing with the left. I have that angled in to where when I get the weight there, I'm not sliding way out in front of it. I'm putting pressure there, but my hip never gets in front of my left ankle until all the way in the follow through. That's why those angled pieces are there. I can also do this where I feel like I get a weight shift to the right. Imagine that this is my impact. I get a weight shift to the right. I start left, and I want to feel like I put pressure in the board, and then the momentum of my hand is hitting through contact. That's going to look something like this. So I'm letting that teeter-totter get the momentum of my body moving left, that divot in front, getting rid of all those heavy chunk shots and thin shots, and then I'm delivering the hit. So it's like weight goes left, then I deliver the hit. That gets your strike in front of the ball every single time. And you'll notice that when you're watching video of my swing, I definitely get the majority of that pressure in my left foot before I swing down. Now finally, there's a drill that you can do without any of these boards, and you can do all those without a board too, just feeling that in your feet. That just makes it a better visual for a video. But I want to do a little heel lift drill. So what I'm going to do is in my backswing, I'm going to lift my heel up, my left heel about an inch. That ensures that my weight is getting to the right. Then I want to press that heel into the ground and then hit the golf ball. Now in my real swing, I actually do that. When I'm hitting a driver, I lift my left heel and then I plant my left heel and swing through. So if you're watching a driver swing of mine, you'll see that early in the backswing, my toe lifts up, my weight goes right. As I complete the backswing, my heel is off the ground, and then I put that heel back down, and that heel is down about halfway in my downswing. My weight is starting to get there. I press into the left side, and then I swing on through. So it's feeling like that teeter-totter. The teeter-totter goes right for your backswing, the teeter-totter shifts left, and then you start your downswing, and that can really help you to get the proper weight shift. Now there's a second piece of this. If you want to hit it with any kind of power, this is going to get you hitting it clean. You're going to get your weight shift left, you're going to get that divot in front, you're going to hit it really solid. You follow those drills, you're going to make a lot more clean contact. But if you want to hit it with some power, you have to add in the rotation piece. I got to make sure that my shoulders and my hips really turn as I go into the backswing. If I just kind of shift right and shift left, don't get very much rotation, then I'm going to hit it okay. I'm going to hit it fairly solid. I'm going to hit it fairly decent distance. But I'm losing out on 30 or 40 yards off the tee that I have trapped inside of me. If I can do that same right to left, but I can add in a hip turn and a shoulder turn. And it's very important to know the right ways to do this. There's actually some secrets with the left heel and specifically how you turn those hips that allows you to get this big turn, even if you're stiff as a board and you feel like you can't move at all. I have a bonus video that's gonna show you exactly how to do that. When you add that turn, you add power to this weight shift. So you're adding speed to the divot in front and that clean contact, and that's when you're gonna play some really good golf. Now I'm gonna play a preview of that video where I share some of these secrets with you. You're gonna go ahead and click the card that pops up on your screen somewhere here. If you don't see one of those cards, don't worry about that. Go down to the description below, click the link there, and you'll get instant access to that video where I talk about how to properly turn the body to get a whole heck of a lot of speed. Best of luck, and I'll see you there. Most of the instruction out there today is killing you of your power. The things that they're telling you to do can make you hit it shorter, and worse than that, not even any more consistent. I'm gonna go over some of the real secrets to powerful, consistent golf in this video. Let's go and get started. So here's some of the keys into making that happen. If you wanna incorporate this in your swing, let me break it down exactly what you should do. Number one, let's focus on the belt buckle. This is another big misconception. I want to keep that belt buckle facing the ball so I can really stretch out my midsection and really get loaded up. I'm not a big fan of that. That's really going to kill your distance. In your backswing, I want to feel like that belt buckle rotates to the right and you really let your hips and legs be loose. Notice how my legs are moving here. I'm not trying to keep those rigid and tight, or I'm really just taking all the speed out of my swing. All right, so on that one, I really felt like I let my belt buckle rotate back. And a good key to this is feel like your knees are loose. Feel like when you make your backswing. Piece number two, let's go ahead and rotate our shoulders. When I let my lower body rotate, my upper body can rotate a lot better also. So if I let my hips move, my shoulders will move more. So here, once I've got my hips working well, I'm gonna add to that my shoulders making a big rotation. On average, on the PGA Tour, players are getting about 120 degrees of shoulder rotation. I don't see hardly anybody getting less than 90 degrees. So it starts with the hips, knees nice and loose, allow the belt buckle to rotate, and then from there, so those are two really big keys. But here's the truth. There's one thing, and if you don't do this correctly, nothing else is going to work.